So you want to learn how to dribble. So let's get started with the theory. What is dribbling? When learning what dribbling is, you have to understand that all it really is a hitbox with a skin attached to it. So when the ball is on top of the car, there's going to be a physics interaction. It's going to start generating momentum depending on where the ball is. So if the ball is landing on the front end of your car, which is above the center of mass, well, it's going to generate forward momentum, forcing the ball go to the front. So if you want to balance that out, you're going to have to speed up your car so that the ball is on the back end of your center of mass, which will slow it down. And now same goes for turning left and right. If you want to turn left, you're going to want the car to be on the right and have the ball on the left side so that once it's on the left side, you can turn left and push the ball in that direction. And then vice versa, same goes for the right side. But one of the really good questions is, how do you find the center of mass when you're so new at this? So what I did was I used a topper as my anchor point. So that way I can have a visual representation of where the ball needs to be at all times so that I can relate it to where the topper is. And that actually helped me out quite a bit. But with any successful dribble, it all begins with the first touch. So normally if you're a beginner, you'd want to square your car up with the ball and hit it directly down the middle and just gently enough so that the ball pops over the car so you can begin the dribble. But that's not always going to be the case. There's going to be awkward angles and different types of momentums. So when the car is actually moving and it's not in standstill, you want the ball to run into the side of your car so that you can pop it over from the side and then start your air dribble. That's the second way to do it. And the last way to do it, and this is a bit more tougher, is to actually catch the ball on top of your car as it's falling from the air. Working on these skills does not have to be a chore. You can actually have quite a bit of fun doing custom maps that you download off of Steam. Now I know that many of you might not be able to do that because you're console players, and that's okay. You can hit up a buddy and do a 1v1 game where you guys are playing against each other and the rule is dribbles only. And that's a good way to get better at competitive 1v1s and as well as improve your ground game. And lastly, one of the other things I suggest is go find your favorite training pack and just incorporate dribbling into it. Because of all these different types of variations that are coming your way, when it comes time to being in a competitive scene, you're gonna be more used to setting up these dribbles and actually using them successfully. But as any dedicated Rocket League player, you're eventually gonna be getting tired of dribbling all day. So what's one thing you can do to even improve even more when you're not practicing? And that's just watching the pros play, or watching your favorite content creator do what they do. One of the people that I watch all the time is Mertzy, and I watch him because he's so good at his ground game, to the point that he's actually giving pro players a run for their money, and that's quite impressive. And one thing I really noticed what he does is that as he's entering a dribble, he knows when to turn off his ball cam and enter free cam mode so that he has more control of his car. Because if you've ever tried to dribble on your own, and that once that ball is on top of your car and you're in ball cam mode, well, your camera's gonna freak out and then you're gonna just mess up the dribble. So that's just one other tip to add to your arsenal. And once you feel fully confident with everything you've been practicing in regards to dribbling, it's time to work on the last, and I think this is a quite important skill, is to get out of that tunnel vision when you're about to score but you get challenged because you can't see the opponent. And the only thing you can do at that point is be confident enough in yourself and trust yourself to the point that you no longer need to see that ball in order for you to dribble it properly. You just have to look at the goal line. And the only real life event I can relate this to is either riding a bike or driving a car. Because at one point, I highly advise you to not look at the steering wheel or handlebars, but to look ahead so you don't run into anything. And that kind of applies to dribbling as well. And before I end this video, guys, we hit 20 subscribers. That's pretty awesome in my books because last week we were barely over 10. And for those of you that are watching right now and actually like this content, please give me a subscribe and then share the video to someone you think needs this help, because it keeps me going and I'll just make even better content for each and every one of you. So guys, have a great rest of your week and take care.